Hi, it's me again with Corel tips and tricks. Just last night I made a video on this, and the more I look at it, depending on how you look at it, it looks like the cubes are going in, and then they look like they're coming out. And I thought this would be a really good one to clone and also kind of show you if you failed to keep your polygon, you could select it all and hit the boundary tool, and there's your polygon, the exact shape. So instead of, in case you erased it, then you could go to effects and contour. And we're going to contour like 0.25 to the outside. That might be just enough. Then I'm going to go to object and break contour apart. I'm going to grab the center one and delete it. And then I'm going to grab the other one and move it back. Well, you know what? I must have contoured. I contoured to the inside, so that's bad. I need to contour to the outside. And normally, the best way to do this is to make this line black. And then if you're going to contour in red, then you know which one is that. And then go to object, break the contour apart, and then just delete the black one and move the red one over. So there's your contour that's going to give you your space. Now it's still ungrouped. So we're going to take and pick this one, this top. Well, you know what? I'm going to keep that out of the way for a second. I'm going to pick the top one, and I'm going to go to edit and clone, and then I'm going to move the clone out of the way. It's actually the real one. This is our clone curve, and this is going to be our control curve. And then I'm going to go to edit and clone. I need to make a hotkey for clone because I use it so much, at least in my videos. So this is our clone curve. It says 3 objects, but if you look, this is our control curve, control curve, control curve. Now I'm going to move this over here. This is our actual one. I'm going to control G to group it together. And I'm still going to make it smaller. You know what? I wonder if I have to make this one smaller to make it, yep. So I didn't grab it all. And what I'm going to have to do is grab it all and make it, well, you know what? Anyway, I'll figure that out. I'm going to go to object, or excuse me, not object, and just grab all 4 squares and make it like, let's make it 4 inches. Okay, so it kind of messed up our curve, but we can, whenever you can't grab something, you can always grab from, well, must have grouped them together. So I'm going to ungroup them. Then I'm going to grab this one with the pick tool. Whenever you can't grab, then you could put this back. And it doesn't really matter since it's our, oh wait, that's our clone curve. This is our control curve. So now what I need to do is take a new polygon to that. So I'm going to use the boundary, and I'm off a little bit. I didn't place that on there very good. So we want to get that node and have it snap to that node. Then I'm going to select them all. I'm going to put the boundary tool. I'm going to move it out of the way. I'm going to make it black like we did before. And I'm going to contour the outside in red. Well, I didn't make it black, but it doesn't matter. You know which one's bigger. And that might be too much, but that's fine for the video. And then move this over there. So this, you know what, I am going to make it smaller. And you can make it smaller just by going now to the contour and go 1.25. Oh, 0.125, sorry. So that'll give you a little bit smaller contour. Break contour apart, grab the outside one, and delete it. Now we're bigger than 2 inches. We're at 4.25. So I'm going to group this together for a second. I'm going to change my nudge factor to 4.25. And I'm going to do just like I did last night. I'm making duplicates. And then Control G to group it, Control D to duplicate it, and then move that node, and it should snap. Now, it'd be easy just to do that, but you keep going downhill. So I find it better to do this, Control G to group, Control D to duplicate, and do this one more time. And then Control D and it'll do as many as you want. Now, we need to ungroup them. I'm going to ungroup all, and I'm going to open up Find and Replace. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to grab that red line. And you can see I've got the red line selected. I'm going to go to Edit, Find and Replace, find from selection, find all, and then just delete them. That'll get rid of our lines. Now, what's cool about this, we have our clone here. And that looks pretty good. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But this way you could take this and get your interactive fill tool back and watch these when I do this. See, it's going to make them all darker. Or you could put this down here and make them all lighter. And just kind of, I call it real time. And then you could take this one, just select it, and let's hold down the control key and let's add a little bit of more white to it and look at all of them are turning a peach. Then we could take this one and actually just make it a red. You know what? We can make it a little darker by holding down the control button and make it black. So I don't like that. Let's just change some colors. But look at that. I changed it to blue and they all changed to blue. I'm not happy with the colors, but I'm going to change this one now to green just to give an example. And then I'm going to change this one to this. That looks pretty good. And then, but I'm going to give it a little bit of interactive fill tool. And I'm going to select, well, give it a little bit. See what it's doing over here? As soon as I touch it, all of them do that. Look at that. Now, we're actually through with this. So I'm going to select them all and go to Object and break them apart. That way you can get to your clone or get rid of it. And then I'm going to group these together, Control G. And that has to be done to do the fisheye effect. And what I can do is grab this one now with the Shift key and go EC, and that'll put that circle in the middle. I'm actually going to make it a little bit bigger. So I'm going to grab that circle, holding down the Shift key and the two-sided arrow, and make that grow out. Then select them both. Let's close this Docker. Go up to Windows, Dockers, no, excuse me, Effects, Lens, and then pick Fisheye. Well, that didn't work. Why didn't it work? I got them all grouped together. You know what? Maybe I wasn't on top. You've got to be able to see that ring all the way, and then go fisheye. Look at that. Now, just like yesterday, you can up this or down this. We can put 200 and make it, that looks terrible. Let's go like to 85. Now you need to freeze it or frozen. Then you can move this out of the way. Well, just like yesterday, there is some white in there because if we put a black background now, go up to Object, Order, Backup Page, see the white? So what you can do is select this, go up to Object, Group and Ungroup, and then try to grab the white. See, I don't have the white, I've got it blue. Let me zoom in a little bit. With the pick tool, grab the, well, that's saying red. Let me delete that. That got rid of our outline. Kind of having a hard trouble selecting the white. There we go. You can tell it's the white now because there's no fill really, but it actually is. And then just hit, well, maybe it was a backup. There it is, white. Take the white away and now you just see the black. I don't think this is as good as the first one, but you know, because this way you can change this to blue, you can change it to red, and you're going to see through it. And I still like my first one, but that looks pretty cool because the blue kind of shadows in with the others. You know, it doesn't look like, and you can do more with this. You can take the interactive fill tool. You've got that selected, and then get your elliptical, put that in the middle, and let's put a light blue in the center You know what? Let's go red. Let's go red and yellow. Maybe not so much. But then if you like a little bit more red, you can always add red. Make it a little bit more red. Anyway, I hope that helps somebody someday, and thank you for watching.